Hello everyone, welcome to Move Well, Live Well. We get a number of people that come in here who have issues with their shoulder. They're having pain, tightness in the shoulder when they're doing their pressing movements like bench press, overhead press, dips, those types of activities. And what we're finding with these folks, it's often missed because they usually go for the rotator cuff muscles in the back of the shoulder that are, giving them problems. Well, if they just look to the deltoid itself, they'll find a lot of problems within the deltoid itself. So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 exercises that you can do to alleviate the issues in your deltoid. That way you can get back to your pressing movements, bench, push-ups, overhead press, dips with no more issues. So join me, shall you? So the first step or exercise you could do, or mobility that you could do for your shoulder, you want to clean up the deltoid itself. Like I said before, a lot of people look to the rotator cuff as the problem, but most of the time it's the deltoid itself. I mean, you can even palpate on yourself and you'll find nasty stuff within the deltoid itself. So what do? You take your good old handy dandy cross ball, put up against the wall like this, and you could do cross friction. Remember, the fibers of the deltoid run kind of up and down like this, right? So you do cross friction. You search for those tight spots in the deltoid, like right there, and you can just oscillate back and forth. Ooh, I can really feel that. And I can feel in certain spots, like if I hold that right there in that spot, ooh, I can feel it, that dysfunction. I can feel the diffuse pain throughout the entire shoulder when I push on a certain spot. Those are trigger points in there. So that's what the lacrosse ball is gonna do, is help loosen up those tight, hyper irritable spots known as trigger points within the deltoid itself. You'll find, like for me, I have a lot of stuff going on in the middle deltoid as well as the front of the deltoid. And this is great. I'm just using my body weight up against the wall like this and doing a little cross, like right there, there's a spot. And I'm just gonna oscillate back and forth on that spot. Working these spots 3 to 5 minutes to help alleviate those tight, hyper irritable spots in your deltoid shoulder. So that is the first exercise and step for this. The next exercise to help fix your shoulder when you're having dysfunction and pain when you're doing those pressing movements is you want to put the shoulder back in its socket. You want to retract that shoulder. Now we just did the break up the junk that's in your deltoid with the lacrosse ball. Now we want to put the shoulder back in its socket well. So what you do is you get on all fours here, and what you want to do is almost like you're doing a kind of like a plank or like a press up or whatever. So you're in here and you're gonna let your body sink into the shoulder. You're letting the weight of your body, and your shoulder is gonna retract into the socket. Let me do it this way so you can kind of see it. How's that? Is that a good view right there? Yep. So here you are like this, and you can search for these right there. There's a nasty spot for me right there, and I can just kind of oscillate back and forth. I can use protract and retract my shoulder like this, so that way it sits better in the socket. And my arm is in a pretty good neutral position here. It's not internally rotated like this. You want it in a good position like this to prevent impingement. But this is helping to put that shoulder back into the capsule, sits in the capsule a lot better. So you're letting your body weight just kind of sink into it like this, and you just move to the side just a little bit. I can move forward a little bit like this, and I can search those tight areas of my shoulder. And then when I find one, I can oscillate back and forth in there by moving my shoulder, retracting it forward and back like this. See that? Mm-hmm. Again, 3 to 5 minutes. Let this sink into the shoulder so it sits better in the socket. Again, if you want to do activities like an athlete, bench press, overhead press, dips, you're gonna have to take care of yourself like an athlete. So take care of your shoulder, the deltoid. So that's the second exercise to fix your shoulder. The third exercise to fix your shoulder, so that way you get back to pressing without shoulder pain, is we call this call it the bully stretch. So what you do here is you have your arm. You don't. It's good to have a wall or something to do this with. But what you do is you put your arm. Let's say this is the involved shoulder. You put it behind your back like this, if you can, and like somebody's going to handcuff you back there. And what you do now, you put your elbow right here, and then you're leaning that way. See that? You see that? And now I can really feel this shoulder open up. Sometimes when people are bench pressing and doing overhead press, they're missing internal rotation of the shoulder. So by doing this stretch right there, boom, and then pushing this way, you can feel the the serratus. You can feel the serratus in here open up, anterior deltoid open up in through there. You can even do a contract, relax, push your elbow into the wall that way. I have a post right here that I'm pushing it to. Contract, relax. Again, 3 to 5 minutes. Work in here. Find those tight corners. You can even shrug as you're doing this, right? To loosen up that shoulder. Shrug. Shrug. You can go retract, protract, retract in through there to loosen up that shoulder into the bully stretch. If you don't, another option too is to use a band. I'll pull up a assist band to do the bully stretch. So what you do, you're in here, you loop it around and you do the bully stretch like this. See that? This is another option too. So it's like I'm behind me like this. I can do it this way. See that? Mm-hmm. And then I can even do a contract, relax in here. Just like that. And this is another type of bully stretch. You just work these tight areas to get that internal rotations that some people are missing. That's causing them dysfunction and pain and discomfort in their shoulder when they're doing those pressing movements. So, three exercises to help alleviate that pain in the shoulder when they're bench pressing, when they're overhead pressing, when they're doing their dips. It's just not going away. So you want to mobilize with the good old lacrosse ball, break up that junk in there, and then go into retracting the shoulder better, into the socket better, and then stretch it out with the bully stretch. If you have any questions with this video, drop it off in the comment section below. We thank you for watching and we appreciate it. If you're new here, hit subscribe. And when you hit subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification button because that'll keep you in the loop with subsequent videos coming here in the near future. That way you can continue to move well, live well. Also, I know you know folks who are going to the gym and they're doing their exercises, especially the pressing ones, and they're getting this deep pain in the shoulder that they may have to use a little bit less weight and it's causing discomfort and pain. Share this with them. Sharing is caring. I'll bet you this is often overlooked for folks in they're doing their rotator cuff stuff, but they're missing the actual deltoid being the problem. So sharing is caring. Also, give us a thumbs up, give us a like. It lets us know you care. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.